Okay, it's 5:30. And we'll go ahead and convene the meeting. If you would, please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First item on the agenda is the under information is superintendent's report. Mr. Higgins.
Yeah, that's my question. Is that idea, but we're not going to have an executive session. It's a change of the original agenda, so we might want to
Have a vote for it.
take a motion to amend the agenda.
Okay. Do I hear a motion for that?
Make a motion that we amend the agenda to not include an executive session.
Second that. All in favor?
No, wait a minute here. Her new hires is different than mine. What's the deal here? Oh, yours is from last month. You're a month behind.
Oh, you really grabbed the one from one of the old meetings?
I remember minutes.
Oh, I bet she. told
She's
me
only a
it's
month
been
behind.
It's right, Pete.
It's right down in there. Are we good?
We are. Okay, we have a first and a second on the motion to amend the agenda to exclude an executive session. All in favor? Aye. No opposed? Thank you, Polly. Now on to the information agenda, superintendent's report, sir.
First off, it's been a busy month, to say the least, but I think we're getting some things done. A couple of things that I just thought I'd bring to the attention of the board as far as what's been going on the last 3 or 4 weeks. Fresnel Engaged, and I believe that's part of your information. Fresnel Engaged is no longer going to be our accounting firm. They chose not to recontract with us. So I reached out to Quest CPA. Quest is a CPA firm that does a large number of schools within the state. I worked with them while I was in Tammy. I had an opportunity to visit with Dan, who I worked with down there. But they entered, basically, we've entered into an agreement with Quest for the 21-22 school audit. Chairman Dunn was able to take a look at the contract, satisfied with the scope of the work being done. Quest will not only meet the legal requirements, but by the state they're asking, but they'll also take a look at the district's internal controls and compliances. And so they'll take a look at a little bit deeper as far as what possibly we have a need for, and they'll also give us a recommendation as far as the things that we're doing fine compliance-wise, internal controls. Mrs. Hogg has asked for an interim audit to review district financial records as the positions are transferred in the incoming comptroller business manager. West, I visited with them. They'll assist in supporting this process. What they think that we ought to do is, instead of their whole company coming in and running through an audit like they're going to do anyway at the end of the summer, is that they want to, and they work with people throughout the state that have knowledge of the Skyward database and the process of that. And so that they were going to reach out to somebody and then have that person, myself, talk to come up with a process in which they can review our budget end of the year 21-22 before we start 22-23. They'll also be able to help Carly as far as understand the basics of Skyward and how that flows into the state financial record. So I haven't heard back from them yet on that, but I think that would be a positive for both Carly and Mrs. Hogg as that position transfers. Maureen's here. Thanks for being here, Maureen.
Yes.
Our food service, the district was notified by the State Department that oversees child nutrition, informing us that because we went to a 4-day school week, we would need to go out for bid on our food service contract. both Chartwell's and the district in agreement. Chartwell's and district, we're in agreement that this is not necessary based upon the contract that we have. We feel as though there's a misunderstanding or that the state might be reading something into it that isn't there. We got in touch with our legal advisor. That person also agrees it's not required. At this point in time, we sent back the legal advisor's recommendation along with our contract with Chartwell and sent that to the state. And now we're waiting for them to see what their response is going to be. I think it's going to be favorable. I think there's just kind of a confusion as far as the ways this thing lies. Our concern though is to get it done in a timely fashion so that we can plan ahead. I would hope we wouldn't have to go to bid, and because that'll set us back. And as far as the bid process goes, I believe Chartwell's is the only one in the immediate area that he has ever bid in the past and probably will.
Correct. Since 1999, no other person has answered the bid request.
So,
You had indicated earlier that the Muckety Mucks wanted the full contract to be paid for Fridays when they weren't there. What happened with that?
No, that was a person's suggestion that we could serve meals on Friday and be reimbursed, but it's not a school day, so the meals are not reimbursed.
so we're working with Chartwell's on that. They're being more than reasonable as far as we contracted on a 5, now we're a 4. And they know that based upon what the contract said versus what we're going to be able to oblige, we're not going to be held hostage or be held liable for that extra day. So you're certain of that.
Yes, is the point that the state agency took exception to was from 2 years ago, they saw a blur that said the school year shall not be less than 171 days. That was on a contract addendum. We have the basic contract that we line out the service that we are going to provide for you. And because we are so tightly regulated, every year we do a contract addendum where we address our financials, okay? And 3 years ago, it was 171 days, and it went to 168, and now we're at 148. And John Moppin, my boss, has put together the numbers, and they took, it refers to the guarantee. Because essentially, we know we're operating at a loss for next year, okay? And I believe he put 72,000 was his estimate of the loss. If we lose up to that much, that's the contract, and that money will have to come from the general fund. If we lose more than that, up to $10,000 more, if I lose 82 instead, Compass would refund you up to that additional 10,000, and that's where the operating days comes in. It has nothing to do with the fundamental services that we provide for your district, in feeding our kids, record keeping, and all of that. So we should be able to move ahead, I hope.
I don't have any concerns as far as our ability to change our program.
If they make you go out to bid, we're on year 3. If we have to start over, the prices are going to be more expensive than they are now. Look at the supply chain issues, the cost of fuel. Where when we start out in year 1, you say our fee is this, and then it's like 3% each year, 3, 3, 3. If we start at square one, it's going to be more than the amount that we are looking at right now. So we all hope the state just settles down and approves our contract addendum for the upcoming year.
So nothing will be served on a Friday, right? There's no.
No, there are no programs on Friday. The only one who will be around on Fridays working is me.
Some calculation, thanks, Marie.
Yes.
District office cost savings, I threw some numbers out, calculating change in salary for district office employees for this coming school year and projecting a savings of roughly $41,500. That's just a change in the level in which employees come in, those that are have resigned or higher paid employees than those coming in, so that's a good savings. This also includes the board clerk contract that will be approved.
Was that saving strictly on
That's just salary.
payout?
That was just salary.
No benefits or stuff included?
No, just salary. And there's, I'm calculating there's one position that was in the district office that wasn't rehired that has a benefit package as well. And I didn't even count that. I just counted the difference between the 3 ladies coming in and the 3 ladies going out.
So the Imers position would add more
It would add more.
cost savings.
Student activity transportation. This is just a report item, and it's just for me to be able to express myself. We can bring this back as an agenda item later if the board chooses. I have deep concerns with district liability in regards to not providing transportation for activity buses. I wasn't part of the decision to cut transportation. I understand that. I would like the board to consider to revisit this, as I think I can find the dollar to reinstate busing. My biggest concern there, I understand the board made a decision on that, saying that, we don't have the local funds. We've got to figure out where we can save money. But I've had an opportunity to discuss some scenarios.
What's that?
I'll reach out and see if we can't bring this back to an
Yes.
agenda item. And if the board chooses to not, then that's fine.
You
I
did
understand
too.
that. I can find the money
Yes, you
for
did.
that and provide better safety for us.
I really did ask for
4-day
it.
savings.
Remember when I had the
I was gonna
robe
have it done today,
here at the
but everything
house,
else, things
and
get in
you
the
asked
way.
if you could wear it and you slept in
I've
it
been
and you said,
Continuing to
I've
work on
been
projected
wanting a
savings
robe.
associated with 4-day school week.
I have not been.
Hope to have some numbers for you in
Okay.
July.
Well,
Oh, look.
Doing department by department.
Oh, what?
Basically how I'm looking at that.
Nope.
It's gonna be
What?
pretty simple to put it all together. It'll be a
Oh, it's
projection, just like
kind of
anything,
blurry. I
but I
can't
think I'll
quite
be
see.
able to give
I'll be
you a rough
darned.
idea or some
I'll try.
numbers leading into the school year that will be
I
able
got
to
2 new bikes and bought
have
some
that
bikes
back
for
from my
Look at my.
That looks
Hiring.
cool.
Schools and district office will still be working, are still
Nice.
working to vacate, fill vacated
Like,
positions.
mine's pretty much
Principals are asked to evaluate the need prior to advertising. I just want my principals
Wow.
to take a look at it and ask themselves.
Okay, so if you don't want the robes, you can
Obviously-
return them, I guess.
Excuse me, we have needs. but I've also seen buildings at different times that I've been associated with that
That has a Dallas Cowboy.
do things just because that's the
Hmm.
way we've always done. And without
Nice.
hurting kids, I'm just asking them to evaluate the need before we go out and advertise. And they're doing a nice job taking a look at that. I'm not
Aw.
saying we're not filling, or I'm not saying we're adding all the same, but within our immediate area, that's the local Panhandle, that's Lewiston, basically Region 2. Potlatch
Okay.
to
See how slow it drives?
Riggins are 60
Oh,
days old.
okay.
I'm trying to
Bye,
go
bud.
fast.
And
It's
they're
going
not easy to
slow.
fill.
Okay.
And they're,
Hi,
they
bud.
are, excuse
How
me,
are you?
there are not people in the supply chain, so to speak.
Let's see it.
Not saying we can't find them. We're advertising on the IOED website, we're reaching out as far as we can on that side of things. But
Yeah.
just know that it may come down to the point to where we'll have to shuffle here and there based on what we have
I'm gonna hold it.
available to us. Excuse
Nope,
me.
I'm gonna hold the phone.
That's it at this point, and I could answer questions if you have.
It's really blurry. Is there like a portrait mode or something?
Thank you.
Mm-mm.
Only you
The
are
next item
clear.
is,
Everything else is
public input
blurry like a
sessions.
portrait. Now I can see Watson's face. That's so strange.
And we have one
That's
person
cool.
signed up, and that would be
Hey,
Mr.
bud.
Jim Gribble.
Awesome.
Oh, Mr.
My
Gribble.
jump snap.
Whoa.
Check's got me
We
fine.
can manage.
Oh, nice.
Keep it in red for everybody.
Huh.
You don't think that no stuff that goes?
Yeah.
This is Title Code 3 statute.
Yep.
Statute 33-1604. It was implemented in 1963, and it states that there will be scriptures of the Bible read
Oh,
in the morning as well as prayer. Beginning
how does it go?
without interpretation or commentary. reading
Oh, cool.
the statute still in existence, needs to be implemented.
Okay,
Information
You put the
passed
bricks there?
along to every school board in the state of Idaho.
nice.
Right now, it may be all over the state. You see, if we want funding for schools,
doing?
contingent to end.
You're on
That
your
is
go-kart.
the way to do it.
Awesome.
Not implemented, the situation may only get worse. Separation of
this way,
church
Layla.
and state,
Come back this way.
that's gone too far, and it's had its day as far as that concerned. We must bring
Come
God
back this way.
back into our schools, if our schools are to survive.
Watson, you gonna ride your bike?
It's a small step, but it's a step in the right direction.
Howard, hey, Howard.
Whatever we ask for God's name, he will do.
Watson, come here.
If we don't ask, he won't do anything. I think this
Do you
will
miss
care for
sniffing my hair, Howard?
Students are well
Ride your
worth
bike.
prayer. School board meeting started, and it'd be a good idea also. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Ready?
My wife's waiting for me, I'm gonna go.
Push.
Have a great meeting. You get down.
Yeah. good talking to you. Thank you.
Oh, there you go. Pedal, pedal, pedal.
There you go. It'll be easier when you get a little bigger.
Next item on the agenda are action items, new business consent agenda, to be approved in one motion.
We
With
can't sit
respect
down
to
and
the,
charge
I'm sorry,
them.
to approve the agenda, I
Okay.
should say. And just for the record, we're talking the agenda is from May 16th, May 19th, June 1st.
How
and
hot is
June
it?
9th.
Feels like 90,
Is there a motion regarding
95 probably.
We need to approve this.
Which we are-
How's the house coming?
It's good. Slow.
What's the timeline?
I don't know.
No worries,
We're good.
we're good.
Yeah.
Come on.
I would make a motion that we approve the new business consent agenda.
Okay, we're gonna go in now. Say bye, Nana.
A second. Sorry.
We'll see you later.
Bye, Papa. Bye, Nana.
Love you.
All in favor?
Bye.
Aye. Thank you. Third action item then is new business. First item there is recommended new hires and resignations.
I'll make a motion, we accept the new hires, both certified and non-certified, as well as the non-returning certified, to be approved in one motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, nay.
Second item in this block is 22-23 contract renewals.
This is for our certified staff. We need to get out and at least, this is just for renewals. No principals have given indication or said that they are not moving somebody forward. We don't have anybody in plans of improvement at that point. So we just need the board's approval to renew those contracts or renew those staff assignments at this point in time. And then once negotiations and everything are done, then we will be able to provide the contract.
So assignments and contracts are two different things. We're talking about assignments.
We're just talking about a position in our district.
And then we'll talk about contracts. Isn't where we need to. Okay, thanks for the clarification.
So it's just the renewals.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we move forward with the 2022-2023 contract renewals as recommended.
And I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Third item is board clerk appointment.
As we've spoken before, it was my request, my thoughts, and I believe this is what I'm bringing forward, is that I would like to have a contract labor set up with a board clerk, someone who's well versed in state law, open meeting law, and understands school business operations. This individual would not be an employee of the district. They would hire on as a contract labor person, just like what we would do with Chartwells or anybody else who have contracts with Quest, any of those types of
30-day basis with right to renewal or?
No,
Time
it's
frame.
a 1-year contract.
1 year, okay.
And will that be this person's only position as board clerk, correct?
No return, no benefits, no return.
And about how many hours a week per month are we thinking?
I would figure it's a half-time position, you know, especially early on as this person works with us.
And do you have someone in mind?
And this person's also available to help charity who's taken Polly's position. And so we'll work in a unified effort there to kind of train charity to become clerk or to understand the process of being a clerk. So we would have that cross training at that point.
Is the board clerk's appointment, is that a different reimbursement from the state?
It will be, that'd be a good question. We have to take a look at that. I'm pretty sure that we're going to get some apportionment money from the state on that, just like what we would, because if like Ms. Hagan's job is defined in 2 separate roles, it would be not pupil personnel services, but there would be some state apportionment that comes from walks down the chain.
Sure.
Are we?
You'd like to appoint? I think it's pretty well common knowledge at this point in time, though. Board clerk, my board clerk, old board clerk from Canyon High School District. I visited with her, asking if she would be interested in coming in and helping to establish a board clerk role, because I knew I didn't have anybody who had that background or training. She's also a personnel director for Canyon, and I think she'll be able to provide some training for our new personnel person, just to kind of bounce some information off. But she is committed to that district, and I support that. I'm not trying to recruit her by any means. But she said she would be willing to come in and help out as a contract labor technician. Her name's Tracy Lynn.
Sorry, last name again?
Tracy Lynn, L-Y-N-D-E.
She'd be responsible for getting all this stuff up, right?
You may even handle it.
Some districts do that.
And that's what we used to.
I'd take a box on the back of the district building.
It doesn't pay very well when you start figuring out mileage. Yeah. So I would ask for that, for a board agreement.
I move that we move forward with the board clerk appointment per the superintendent's suggestion for 22-23. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Last item in this section, number 4, is submitted school year 22-23 student handbooks.
Handbooks were submitted to Polly from all the buildings. I talked to, I think, maybe it was Miss Becker or somebody, the idea of lining out what they were removing and italicized the new. I don't know if they altered that or not. That was just correction I haven't gone through them. I don't think there's a lot of changes. I think the changes at this point, and I figured you would know better than I would.
Just I realize this is a low priority with respect to revisions, but at some point I'd like to think we could look at standardizing some of the languages between the books, and also I don't see why we need to have 3 or 4 different formatted, all just that kind of stuff. That's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah,
It's also a lot of work, period.
Yeah,
So
it is.
thanks for
It's,
the good work on that.
It would be nice if the principals maybe would get together and just make it more uniform.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the handbooks as submitted.
Go ahead,
Second
please.
it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposed. Second to the last item is action item unfinished business for which we have none. This is to take suggestions from the trustees for board meetings. Anything you want to make sure we have?
I'd like to just suggest maybe we look at weighted grades. Are we allowed to do that before the school? Like,
as far as changing our Val South policy,
right,
it's, I can tell you, when I was here, however many years ago, we took a look at it and it was a resounding no, we don't want to get into this. It's gonna be a process. It's not something that we will be able to implement
22, 23.
22, 23, because there's a lot to it, a lot of opinions that go with it.
It's not just Sal though, it's also like their whole overall, not
But
just,
it
it's not
affects-
about
yeah,
those
it's a GPA
positions.
calculator.
Yeah.
What was
It's been
your
brought up a lot.
suggestion? I couldn't hear because of the heater.
Weighted grades. So when students take more difficult classes, they're more valuable in the GPA system.
I can tell you this from my understanding and my experience, the weighted grades mean nothing when you leave here.
Oh, I know, but it
Colleges
does,
don't look at them.
it is valuable to the kids that are taking them.
Yes.
And at that point in their lives, it's important.
Which goes back to the basically direction towards the valedictorian salutatorian aspect. I mean, that's what kind of drives it.
Well, also just trying to take classes that might be difficult for you, but they're gonna make you a stronger
Yeah.
individual.
I like.
Yeah, and it's been brought up a few times in the last 4 years. So we've had different people come and express their concerns from CV and Rangeville.
Excuse me. I would welcome the discussion, but I would caution about trying to put it together too soon.
I would like some clarification on last month, the executive session was at 5, and I assume you thought it was going to happen today. That should probably be in the agenda if we're going to start early, because I was confused.
Yeah, and if you look on the agenda in front, I had it there, we had it there, but we need to make sure we communicate time and all that stuff. So I'll take credit for that. We will have a uniform thing too, to where it's going to be easier to call you or let you know no executive session as opposed to, oh, yeah, by the way, we will start a half hour.
So nothing's set in stone then, right now.
Nope, we will let you know if we need an executive session going into next meeting. Sorry, you'll know ahead of time. Far enough to where you can prepare for it. I would expect an executive session next time, is what I would expect, because we're gonna have some more hires. That will be involved.
Well, B texted me at 5:02 and says, are you coming to the executive session? And I thought, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, it's my fault. It's should have been better communicated.
And are you any further along, or are you on any ISBA training?
I haven't even looked at it yet, so I don't know where you left off.
Mr. Fisk was going to inquire, not through ISBA, but through another organization, the equivalent of the superintendent equivalent. He indicated he had a connection with somebody that did board training there.
And I will turn that over to our clerk, because she's tied in with, that's going to be one of the things that she will hope that we have, and she will train us as well as far as boardsmanship and the process, and a lot of things will be reorganized with that as well. So I think it would be something that we probably give back to the board clerk. Say, let's get some things set.
And then just maybe if we could get the schedules out from each school.
The daily schedule.
Yeah,
I gave it to the boys today. It'll be on the website.
awesome. Thank you.
You had a better term for it than I did, but I'd like to take up what it's going to look like for us to establish a parents' library that you and I were talking about. You had a different term for it. I thought it was better. I don't know if you remember. It comes to mind, the idea of establishing a place where the public could go and see any of the textbook or supplemental material, just as a matter of force, to be a little more open and available. I'm not sure. I'll just leave it at that. So that
We'll put
process.
that one on next month's agenda item and then discuss it and get a board approval on it or whatever the need is.
So you're asking like to have the curriculum available at the district office in the library?
But we know it's always available. I mean, anybody can walk in, they can visit classes, we're a public entity.
Right.
It's just the idea that to make things easier, we were talking because we had that public records request, maybe it would be better if the board came together and created something that would have it already established for people as opposed to go through the channels.
Just for the record, that request has been withdrawn. So we don't have to work. It's one less thing we have to work on. I think I'm going to mention only because it is future agenda item. Again, you're going to have to help me with the language here, but there was the board committee that we established to look at rewriting some of the district level. We did finish with the comptroller position as well as the justification memo. And I think Mr. Higgins' point with respect to the fact of the experience level, as well as a lot of things that are going on at the district level at this point, that's something we don't necessarily want to just overlay immediately. And so at a point in time when Mr. Higgins thinks it's appropriate to pick that back up again, then we'll do that if that everybody's okay with that. Essentially, we're tabling that little project.
And I think we could bring it back as early as July and have the board take a look at it and as a whole, ask questions, adopt it. It's not gonna, it's kind of what I see already as a position.
All right. Anybody have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. For adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All over that.
No, but a lot of my neighbors did. Anybody that fertilized did.
I didn't fertilize. It's too expensive this year.
But my crop's just as fine.
Oh, mine's beautiful.
Just tall as a fence.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I got.
Good.
I
Here, take this.